Darth Vader. Let's talk about some Smash 4.
Yep, we have a match. Neighbor and Milky Coco.
Ooh.
And voice cracks.
I got you. You're picking Sheik. That's cool, man. I got you. You're really good at picking Sheik, man. I totally get. Hey, you know what? I think
CSS tech.
we're probably going to be seeing Fox in this. No, I'm kidding. It's definitely Sheik if you haven't heard it for the first 3,000 times. 20 slap slap.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Battlefield for game number 1. Kind of makes sense, I guess. Pretty standard stage. And here we go. Milky Coco versus Neighbor. It's interesting as well because Milky Coco in previous weeks, we've seen him rep that that Mario. And he's been doing pretty well with it overall. Making, I guess, some really close games, but not necessarily taking sets pretty consistently on stream. So I'm curious to see if the Sheik pick is going to work out in his favor. It might be just what he needs to start tipping some of those sets in his favor.
I'm also interested to see how Neighbor's going to look coming back from his absence the last couple of weeks.
Ooh, he's going to look with a near stage spike there, but Milky Coco making it back with the skin of his teeth. He's going to be taking control of center stage temporarily, but ooh, you notice that Neighbor had that space, and so he just started charging those needles. I love it when Sheiks do that, especially given the fact that needles in this game have that knockback. And oh, speaking of knockback, that up smash.
Neighbor dealt very strong first stock right here. And, I mean, I thought he had it for sure with that down beat back here on the stage spike, but, I mean, Sheik's just got so much recovery potential.
So much recovery potential. And somehow Milky Coco is going to need to exploit that. Once again, almost a reverse of what happened, what Neighbor did to Milky Coco happened with that near stage spike. Ooh, tried to set up for that bouncing fish, but barely whiffs it, and Neighbor gets back on stage.
Bread and butter combos here. Good air dodge. Could have been punished with that up B, but seemed pretty safe.
This match is a mirror match.
It is a mirror match.
In every way, shape, and form. These two players are playing horse right now more than they are playing Smash Bros. Literally taking turns doing the exact same thing. But now we see about a 40% difference between these two players.
And Neighbor is just not letting up. Coco is trying to get like a little bit of breathing room here, but that's just Neighbor's playstyle to rush you down.
Trying to find the grab right afterwards, but Neighbor very wisely putting in that spot dodge, avoiding the follow-up opportunity.
Another up smash, almost ended at the exact same percentage as the last stock.
Coco 105%. You know, she may be a touch on the lighter side, but oh my!
Oh,
not yet,
no.
Not yet, and we gotta go back. We gotta go back. Oh no! No! We're looking at oh my God! Wrong face! We almost commented the player cam and then us as crazy people. That would have been interesting. But anyways, back into the match. Sorry about that little technical flub, y'all. Milky Coco making this a 30% deficit. A little bit more than that, actually. About 40. But oh my!
What a read!
That was an incredible read. Even Milky Coco showing that appreciation.
And that was actually a pretty safe option, what he did right there, because should Milky Coco go behind him or jump up, Neighbor just goes back into the stage and resets it to the neutral. You get center stage.
I got to give it up for Neighbor. I got to give it up.
That was a brilliant first match. Just absolutely trading. Every single moment of the match was the same.
Man, you can tell that Neighbor, he took that AP English class. He's definitely reading above his level. Definitely reading above his level. That was good. That was a really good way to end it. And that was good, too, because Milky Coco, I felt like near the end there, was getting closer and closer to maybe potentially clutching it out. That bouncing fish nearly did it.
I cannot believe he did not get in there.
Oh.
I think with just a tad bit more rage or a tad bit more damage.
I mean, I feel like if he was just a pixel closer to the blast zone,
I think another needle earlier could have ended that stock.
Man. And that's one big difference, actually, to pick up on. I feel like Neighbor utilized the needles a lot better overall in the set than Milky Coco. Milky Coco, whenever he had that space, didn't really take any time to charge needles at all. And if you're not charging needles, but at the same time you're not rushing down your opponent, I mean, what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Every second you're charging up needles, so is your opponent. That's the problem with these mirror matches, is that you have to have a different play style than your opponent, or you just have to be straight up better than them.
And honestly, I think the best thing about these kinds of matches is you get to see who adapts and who doesn't. And we have to figure out whether or not Milky Coco can adapt as we go into Game 2.
We're going to have to see if Neighbor can adapt to the color switch.
Ooh.
Milky Coco turns to gold.
Yeah, and that's probably because whenever he crouches, he's closer to the ground color. No, I'm kidding. I'm playing. Oh. And that was smart by Milky Coco, using that bouncing fish to avoid that follow-up fair that Neighbor attempted.
This is also a pretty smart counter pick from Milky Coco considering how that last round went, because Duck Hunt has smaller side blast zones than any of the other tournament legal stages.
Oh, and that means that if that bouncing fish KO, oh,
But Neighbor can get it too.
that's true, that's true. Anything you can do, I can do better. Well, let's see if Milky Coco can maybe find a bouncing fish of his own. Attempts it there, barely whiffing. Neighbor back on the offensive, gets the up smash, but this stage actually does have a bit of a higher ceiling, does it not?
It does trade off the side blast zones for a higher upper blast zone.
Oh, Neighbor. Not afraid to use that banish. So consistently, taking 2 stocks in a row so far with that. I don't know, liking the back air. See what Milky Coco can do. Tried to find that forward smash, but Neighbor beating him out with that quick F tilt. Gets that grab after that really unsafe F smash on shield. He's reaching right now.
Yeah, he's just looking to get a little bit of a reset. Milky Coco throwing out a lot of forward smashes for this kind of matchup, but so far he's tacked on a lot of damage with it this match.
I mean, it might be because he really wants to take advantage of those closer side blast zones. That could be very well be a reason why, but the problem with that is that Neighbor, as you can see on the percent, has been consistently putting on that extra credit. Sure, Milky Coco took the stock, but now he's at a 63% deficit. That's even higher than the deficit that he had in the last game.
He's going to have to rely on that rage mechanics to just keep racking up that damage, and hopefully the rage will be enough to help him carry Neighbor all the way to the blast zone.
Oh yeah, Rage bouncing fish, especially given these closer blast zones. He barely whipped that vanish. Had the great read as well on that spot dodge. Going for those rapid jabs. Interesting. I know that Sheik's rapid jabs are not necessarily the best thing, as you can DI out of them rather easily.
And just neutral air out of them as well if you're playing the right character.
Ooh, that was an excellent spot dodge. Neighbor mixing it up, trying to go for the up airs. Oh, that time it works out perfectly. Milky Coco. I mean, he brought it down to 1 stock apiece twice in a row, but just like we saw in the past, he hasn't quite been able to clutch it out.
That's what happens in the Sheik Ditto. You have a person who plays Sheik every day of their life. Even in friendlies, they only play Sheik, and they play against the Mario player playing Sheik.
It is